about the park run, but I do that because it's such a good thing. It's fun. And one of the mental health benefits of it is that you turn up each week, your face becomes one that everybody gets to know. You get to be a bit of a regular, and suddenly people are saying, "G'day mate, how you going?" You're saying it to same faces you see all the time. Suddenly people are interested in how you're going with your running, wanting you to do well this week. You're wanting someone else to do well. You might even find that there are people who help you to keep going when you're feeling a bit winded, things if you need to stop. And in my case, I'm very lucky that I've got a couple of women who take an interest in my running, finish before I do, and often run me in the last couple of maybe 100 metres or whatever it is, encouraging me to push through when I know the finish line is there, and thinking, nearly there, am I going to make it or whatever. And they encourage me to keep going. So, and that's good for your mental health, because you know there are people out there who actually, even if it's only for the half an hour a day that you're running, and the few minutes beforehand and afterwards, they're still interested in you. They still want to know how you are, and so on. So that's good. So those are the benefits of running. If you join a running club, and they're everywhere, there's a couple of them in Goulburn, and they're just like-minded people that you meet on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever it is. They do their thing, and again, they're just people who are interested in what you're doing and how you're doing it. So those are all the benefits of running. Getting down to the more practical questions, like what kind of gear or stuff do you need to go running? Right. I mean, every sport or activity has a bunch of equipment or a uniform or whatever. And what I'm about to say, again, shouldn't be taken as a criticism of anybody else. People do and are entitled to make their own choices. That includes things that they wear. But so, for me, I have a baggy pair of football shorts, smelly old t-shirt, sock and shoes. I wear a hat to absorb the sweat, it doesn't run in my eyes, and that's about it. Now I guess out of all that, the shoes are the most important, because obviously they're the things that are the buffer between you and the road. So you want good shoes, but you also want to remember, as Billy Joel tells you, get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers. So you can spend a lot of money on shoes, but you just need to make sure that the shoes that you buy are comfortable, Having said that, I know there's one park run in Brisbane where there's a regular, that I've run it a few times when I've been up there. There's a guy who does it regularly and he runs in bare feet. I've got to say I'm not willing to do that because, first of all, you never know what you're going to step in, and secondly, as a child, I thought it was cool to go around in bare feet. I ended up with many a stubbed toe. So, shoes, comfortable shoes, are probably the most important. I reckon lots of people who run have smartwatches of some sort, and that's linked to an app on their phone, and they can record all sorts of data. And if you see my Facebook posts or watch my YouTube channel, you know that I often post all that data. And I don't do it to boast, I just do it so that people who are watching the video can see where I've run, what distance, and all that other sort of statistical information. But I know there are other people who run who don't do that, they just run. I was watching somebody else's running video, and he was talking about similar things to what I'm doing, and reading one of the comments, somebody mentioned that I used to be in a group with a bunch of people who regularly went cycling, and all these, I think it was mostly guys, turned up at the appointed place at the set time on a Saturday, and they all went off riding for a couple of hours, stopped, had breakfast, told some war stories, and rode back again. And it was all just fun. They loved the camaraderie and all that sort of stuff. And then one week, one bloke turned up with one of those little computers that cyclists have and gather all the data about speed and distance and so on. And the next week, a couple other ones had it. And before long, everybody had one. And then it became competitive. And it ceased to be fun. So we stopped doing it. Now, that's not necessarily a thing to say don't do those things. Don't gather the data. Because the data can tell you about your own performance, and if your goal is self-improvement, and that's what it should be, then the data will help you improve. Maybe run a bit faster or have a better pace or better cadence or something. Maybe one day you'll do better than the day before. Maybe one day you won't. Gather the data to inform yourself about your own performance, yes, and maybe there are other people who measure themselves against you, but for the most part, people just running because they like running, I guess. That's question 2 about, what gear do you need? And, I'm just coming towards the end of the first section of this run is, as I said, starting at my house and going out on the Rio Goulburn Road. I went across the Rossi Bridge over the Wallandilly a little while back there, and there you can see what I was talking about earlier about there being no shoulder on the road. You just got to run on the road. Fortunately, there's not a lot of traffic, so I guess I don't have to worry about being skittled by cars. And I don't say that with any sense of malice. I don't think any drivers would deliberately do such a thing. It's just that there are cars coming both ways. There's not a lot of room for them, and there's really nowhere for me to go. All right, let's continue. I'm going to make a right-hand turn just up past these signs here. So this will be section 2 of the run. At least I hope the right-hand turn just up here. I did come out here on my motorcycle and scope this out a week or so ago, as I was building up my courage and talking myself into doing this. As you can see by the sign, the cyclists of this area, and the right hand turn is here. It's called Chinaman's Lane. I don't know why it's called that, it just is. And so on section 2, I guess I'm going, well I don't guess I go, I know, I'm going north, and you can see by this sign here, the next obstacle to run into is a possibility, after all the rain we've had in the last little while, is there'll be water over the road at the low point, so these next couple of bends. And so that's the case, I guess I'm left with two alternatives. One, turn around and go back the way I've just come, or two, run through the water. I guess I'll make that decision when I get to there, if there is water over the road. One of the other places that I would have run during last week had water, the river walking track that's used for the park run and so on. That's about 5 k's by the way from my home, and this section is about 3.1 k's I think. So as I was saying, a lot of other tracks I would run on, the river track on the low side especially, would have water over it. The park run was called off because of that. And on Blackshore Road on the front of the golf course, also underwater undoubtedly, and the Mulwarry River track from May Street through to Cemetery Street would have had water over it as well. Okay, so question number 3, I think it is, or is it 2? Anyway, the next question is, what sort of runner are you? And by that I mean there are people who say they're trail runners, there are people who say they're grass runners, and there are people who just say they're runners. When I'm in Goulburn, I mostly run on made roads and either cycleways, walking tracks or footpaths and so on. There might only be the odd section that is an unmade gravel track, but for the most part they're made paths and roads. I don't like to run on the grass because although it feels a bit softer under your feet and therefore lessens the impact a little bit, you never know what's there. In other words, there could be divots and holes and stuff like that that you're going to fall in, twist an ankle or something like that. And not to mention dog waste and stuff like that. But try to avoid the grass, except when there's no option. I don't know of too many places around town where there are just trails. Sure, there are some. When I'm in Launceston in Tasmania, again it's a mixture. Mostly it's made paths, footpaths, bitumen tracks, things like this, roads, running tracks. Well, I guess I'm going to have to make that decision shortly because the sign says water over the road and it'll be just around this bend. Our decision will be based on how deep the water looks. I don't really feel like turning around and going back. So I do a bit of a mixture there in Launceston. I like the feel and the sound of gravel and bark and stuff like that crunching under my feet when I run sometimes. I guess I'm running on a made surface, and this is where the water would have been over the road, and you can see the sign that says how deep it might have been. Obviously if it was 2 metres or so I wouldn't be going through it, and fortunately it's gone down, so I get to keep going.